And welcome back. In the US, a conglomerate known as the US Drought Monitor keeps a weekly watch on the changing precipitation and moisture climate of the country. The partnership extends between the National Drought Mitigation Center at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and the United States Department of Agriculture. Regions are marked in color on a scale ranging from none, 0, through to exceptional drought, which is D4. Yellow marks the first category, abnormally dry, also known as D1, and the color intensifies with the severity. A yellow coloring shows an area is at risk of drought. Let's take a look at the standard precipitation index. It is a tool used to measure precipitation. The scale is helpful as it is able to measure both long and short spans, as it can be used on a variety of timescales. When the SPI reaches a reading of -1 or less, and has been continually negative in the past, it is labeled a drought. The drought ends when the meter reaches a reading which is positive, indicating an acceptable level of precipitation. Now let's have a look at the Palmer Drought Severity Index. The original tool of measuring a drought was the PDSI. However, it was found to be flawed due to a built-in timescale, which can skew results and possibly lag in data, as it pertains to emerging droughts. Primarily, the tool categorizes levels of dryness and wetness over a given area. The PDSI uses precipitation, temperature readings, and local available water content of soil in the specified area. Crop Moisture Index. In an attempt to better gauge short-term moisture readings in specific regions, the CMI was developed as a supplementary reading from the PDSI. The meter is meant only for current and short-term measurements of soil moisture in crop-producing regions, as you can see here. Now let's have a look at through some examples. First off, if you want to see the effects of an El Nino and La Nina, take a look at this map. As you can see, this is the effects when Australia is in El Nino. The drier the red, the heavier the red, the harder the worse the drought. El Nino and La Nina are the warm and cool phases of recurring climate patterns across the tropical Pacific. A strong El Nino is often associated with wet winters over the southeastern US, as well as drought in Indonesia and Australia, as I pointed out on the map. So let's take a look at a few examples of bad drought. The 2000s Australia drought, which is also known as the millennial drought, and it's said to be the worst of the recorded droughts since the settlement of the country. It spanned a whopping 14 years from 1995 to 2009, with some of the remnants still around till 2012. It cost the government an estimated $4.5 billion in drought assistance across this time. I personally lived in this drought, and I could tell you that they would send out little clocks for you to put in your shower to make sure your shower wasn't over 2 minutes. You weren't allowed to water your garden until after 7 p.m. at night, and then they changed it to only on weekends. And you weren't allowed to wash your car with a hose. These are just a couple of the measurements put in place by the government because our dams are running so low. The 2010-2011 Texas drought. The agriculture industry in Texas was hit hard by the drought of 2010 to 11. According to the media, from November 2010 to August 1st, 2011, Texas suffered an estimated $5.2 billion in crop and livestock losses, which surpassed the previous record loss of $4.1 billion in 2006. Due to record heat and drought, violent wildfires destroyed many homes in the area as well. And finally, the Illinois drought of 1988 to 89. The 88 to 89 droughts were some of the most disastrous in the history of Illinois and America. The drought caused $60 billion in damage, which would, due to inflation, would be $120 billion in today's money. And during the summer of 1988, it led to many wildfires in forests of western North America, including Yellowstone National Park. Moreover, thousands of Americans lost their lives because of extreme heat waves. This is just a look at a couple of the examples of what can happen when a country or region is in drought for extended periods. This concludes my presentation on droughts. I hope you found it insightful and helpful. And then this is a quick look at my works cited page. Thank you.